And it looks like the game is started. And bombs immediately in the very first chest in Link's house, and that's actually very useful. You can use it to get access to 3 additional chests behind the bombable wall during the escape, so that's a very good first find, actually. Hello, and welcome. No problem, you're just in time. We have just seen 3 bombs from each player in Link's house. Very good first find to find the extra treasure chest in the escape.
Yeah, which I've seen quite a few racers not be able to get early.
Oh, and Temper Sword right away. That's
awesome.
An amazing find so far.
Well, if Aghanims here, they already got their weapon.
Yeah, Agahnim could actually be likely actually to be defeated.
Well, I've seen him defeated several times, and I've seen him never won.
It's also very helpful to have that powerful sword right in the beginning, just plowing through the enemies and start.
Yeah, though I'd say the nicest item is still probably got to be the mirror.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you can also mirror in the Hyrule Castle, teleporting directly, taking Zelda with you.
Yes. Which, if I recall correctly, I think someone once said that it saves about, what, a minute and a half?
I think that's correct. I actually played one game where we found a mirror very early against Bad Moons, and he used mirror. I didn't know about this option, so I didn't, and he was well ahead of me in the start of the game.
Yeah, I sometimes forget that too. But oh,
we see the blue mate as well, so they are fully prepared now, going into any fight.
Yep. Which do you prefer, the blue or the red?
You mean color of the mail?
Yeah.
I guess I like the red very well, because that's my favorite color, but the blue, you don't see the blue very often during a normal run, so I guess I prefer the blue one, actually.
Yeah, both look good. I'd say the blue one actually kind of just, looks better. And wow, the quick kill on that ball and chain guard.
It actually, I think the blue one looks like a pajamas, to be honest.
Oh, maybe that's where they got the Wind Waker pajamas from.
Yeah.
It's just the blue male.
And I got a question if I'm French. No, I'm not. I'm actually Swedish, and the blue mail is actually blue and yellow, like the Swedish flag, so...
Nice.
I guess I have to stick with that one.
I can understand that. I can.
So a very good seed so far for both players, and we'll see if they get caught in something and if Agahnim will be required.
That is true. That is so true.
But so far you can't really complain getting the blue mail and the tempered sword so early.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're probably not gonna die to any of the guards. Unless you just stand there and get hit multiple times. Or just... I mean, you can just kill most of them.
Yeah, and actually, in the beginning, health can be sort of a problem if you don't find many hot containers. So the blue mail definitely helps you survive.
Yep, that is true. And then again, I've seen Golden Sword in the actual beginning, and that's just...
That is insane.
Yeah, that's just like... Okay, here's the Golden Sword. Have fun!
Take the best we have in the store.
Yeah. Especially when it's free and you don't have to actually look anywhere else.
Well, it is a very good find. We also have to remember that the items themselves doesn't really lock up new item location. It does lock up Agahnim, as you can do, but in terms of getting more item location, it doesn't open up very much.
That is true.
So we'll see if they find something like the gloves or the hookshot or something that can help them get even further in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Though having the gloves, it just starts to make you think whether or not should I possibly go to Death Mountain early just to grab the warp and then go to Kakariko, or should I stick with the normal routes?
Yes, and it is very easy to get sort of lost in the beginning, because we saw in the game versus Swerve where he actually decided to go to Death Mountains and skipping the Moldom Cave. And the Moldom Cave actually contained the hammer, so it's sort of threw him off a bit.
Oh, and Ether! Well, that'll be useful.
It can be very useful. And it's actually a good thing they found the bomb, so they didn't have to go back here. I can see the chat is actually very knowledgeable about the randomizer, and they talk about the new logic that is coming up. And it is true that the new logic offers progressive items, which basically means you can't find the tempered sword in the beginning. You have to find the master sword first.
Yeah, which is a pro, I guess, because you will see all the swords. But I really wish that it's like for at least the escape. It's like, okay, here. Well, be nice. These few chests, you can still get a better sword upgrade. You can still get, golden sword / butter sword / whatever you want to call it. But apart from that, yeah. I mean, it's got its pros and its cons.
I guess overall, I think it's a pro, but you still at the same time you miss the excitement to be able to get the butter sword very early in the game, so that's too bad. And we can also see Alanim is checking in the lumberjack tree, and it contains nothing but 20 rupees. So far, not looking good for Agahnim.
Yeah, unless basically pyramid item. And I saw at least 2 of the dungeons in the light world were crystals. Did you happen to catch desert? Oh, and the 300 rupees for, on the first floor.
Yeah, 300 rupees can be very useful. And the silver arrows, that's really good. They're getting all the luxury items right away.
Yeah.
And 300 rupees can be very helpful in the beginning, especially if you have to go get Zora's item.
Yeah, that is true. That, or if they manage to find the golden bee, which can always be sold.
And those 300 rupees also helps them to lock up the bottle vendor.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
And the mirror shield as well. There is no stopping at this.
That's true. Mark that down.
So they are well prepared for any battle the game may throw at them now. But only 3 hearts so far, so life could be a problem.
Yeah, that will be. But at least, they're actually having, a decent fun find so far.
But still not too much of progression items, actually, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really use silvers. You can't... Well, you can, but if you have the bow.
Yeah, exactly.
But it seems like, so far, not much useful, in Kakariko. Well, except for the mirror shield, but that's the question. Now, will the chicken house have something?
And I haven't seen any of the players checking the map yet, so...
I think Mega did. I saw, at least I think Hera. I know Eastern had a crystal. but I'm trying to remember whether or not Desert did.
So the bow will be required then.
Yep. Well, the bow's almost always required. Though I did realize that I think you might be able to actually skip the hammer, but that would provide all three crystals in the light world. And I think not needing pod and swamp and. Do you need the hammer for Turtle Rock? Or for Mire?
No, I don't think so.
So then, you know, if you don't have to do with those and ice, yeah, you could probably skip the hammer.
Yeah, that is true. Even if it's very uncommon.
Yeah.
You still need the hammer for Swamp Palace and as well, so.
Yeah. So I said, you know, the 3 Dark World dungeons being, what? You know, pendant dungeons, if they were pod, you know, swamp, and, God. What was the last one I just said? Oh yeah, ice. Yeah, you could skip the hammer. So, I think everybody would not want to skip the hammer, but we've had players not have a shield before, not have boots.
Yeah, everything can certainly happen in the randomizer, and that's what makes it so fun.
I know. I personally want to see one seed where basically you get the Ganon, you don't have the shield, you don't have every other unnecessary item. I mean, it's just to see how barren your inventory is. Just like progression items. It's like, okay, don't need the hammer, don't need flute. Well, in this case, you would have to have the flute, but you know, like just all the items you actually would not need that are normally so important. I mean, that would be just ridiculous. Would you consider that a troll seed, or not really?
I think I would.
Mind you, I'm still a fan of wanting to see a third actual pedestal seed. Because we had our second one last night.
Seems the chat is pointing out that the hammer can't be skipped for it is required for 4 different dungeons, so.
And what's the 4th? And the Cane of Burnout.
They say it's required for Turtle Rock, but right away I
oh yeah, that's right.
Where?
Oh god, I remember it. It's to get into the dungeon.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's not needed for the dungeon at all, but it's needed to get in there.
I was thinking all of the rooms in Turtle Rock, and I couldn't really remember any time the hammer would be needed. So
yeah.
And now I actually missed the Moldorm cave.
That's true. I mean, it's.
You see now, Alanim is having only 1 heart, so that health could be a problem, even with all the equipment they've got so far.
Yeah, I mean, he missed getting the race heart, whereas Mega actually did have to get it. Now, if they had the bug catching net, a bottle, and boots, they could always get the free extra 100 rupees from just snagging the golden bee. Which is always useful. But we'll soon see all of the mini Moldorm cave off of Mega. He'll find his Cane of Burnout, which should help. So which route do you prefer? Kakariko first or mini Moldorm cave?
I think I prefer the Kakariko village since you can scout the lumberjack tree, but that also depends. If I have bombs and I don't have any money, I think I prefer to go Moldorm first.
Looks like Alanim is actually trying for the fake clippers.
Yeah, I like that decision. Scout the island, and you can also get the hobo item, potentially giving you a head start.
Yep. Though I have seen, like, once, someone managing to actually pull off the return fake clippers from the hobo. Myself, I'm always of the opinion of checking swamp can be useful, you know, in the light world, as long as you either get a fake flipper or you have the real flippers, then you can always catch the one whirlpool to, you know, back to Kakariko from Lake Hylia. And the hobo only giving 5 rupees.
Yeah, so basically those fake flippering didn't give too much of return this time.
Yeah,
And I think Alanim is heading for Sahasla's hut, getting 3 chests there.
yeah. Begs the question, though, will he also check Eastern?
That is a good question. He doesn't have the bow, so he can't finish it, but it does contain some items, and it's not taking too long of time to check it, so that
Yeah,
might be an option.
I mean, it's really starting to run out of, places to check. Yeah, Shasharod's Eastern and the item, in Adina's cave.
Yes, and if they don't find any progression items, they could be forced to go to Agahnim.
Oh,
But
the
now
book!
he does lock
single
up
hero.
more locations.
Yes, that does. The book.
And he's not heading for Eastern, he's going straight to the desert.
Which is always useful.
But Kidicarus is actually going straight to Agahnim, it would seem.
Yeah, well, pyramid item.
It could be a choice that pays off very well if it's needed, but if it's not, then it might be sort of a gamble or wasted time.
That is true. Though he also did get his free can of burnout, so at least he'll not die.
Oh, Alanim is not going to the desert. It seems he's heading for Agahnim as well.
Yeah, both of our players will be in there.
That is interesting, actually, since he does have a couple of more locations to check. And Desert Palace is actually one of the dungeons that is 2-tier, so it's not too much waste of time to check the item locations in the first part of the dungeon.
That is true. That is very true.
And I think I missed the location for the Cane of Birna. Where was it?
That was in the mini Maldron cave in the 3rd chest. The first chest right after the thief.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Welcome. Now, here's a question for you and for chat. What do you think the pyramid item's going to be?
Interestingly enough, we could have a situation where the pyramid item is not a valuable item, and that would mean both players could think that the other player is ahead of them, since they perhaps did not do the Agahnim fight.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. I mean, I guess the trolliest of troll items would be what? Oh, they've already got the single arrow. Green rupee?
Green rupee. That would be all of Aghanim's castle for just 1 rupee.
And neither of them were probably going to pick that up. It's like, yeah, I'll just leave it there. I'm always of the opinion of you kind of don't want to pick that up, but if you're at like 499 rupees and you want to go check Zoro, it's just like, oh dear God, I've actually got to pick up this.
The Master Sword was suggested as well, that would be very trolly.
Yeah, that is trolly. It's like Master Sword, the Green Rupee. Well, they've already got the single arrow, so it couldn't be that. Maybe more bombs, since apparently this seed loves bombs?
Yeah, they have gotten quite some few bombs and upgrades as well, so...
Yeah. So the better question is, do you take the actual upgrades? If you have the opportunity to avoid them, do you still avoid them or just take them since it's going to take you a second?
I think most people would actually skip them because it's very rare that you run out of bombs.
That's true. Arrows I could see.
Yeah, definitely. Although now when they have silver arrows, it's less likely.
It depends on your shooting ability.
That's true.
Especially in a 2D Zelda game. I know in 3D ones, I'm actually a decent shot. 2D, it's a little harder. So chat, let's start actually guessing what's on the ledge. What's on the pyramid? surprisingly enough, Mega actually, finally getting to Agahnim. But I personally prefer actually having the bug catching net played him. Just because it's always fun to see that.
Moon Pearl would be kind of trolly because, they can get back to the Dark World, of course, then by saving quitting. I'm just so used to not having fighting Agahnim, and then you can't save and quit to get the light to the Dark World anymore.
Yeah, actually they still could. They would just have to walk back up there, though they wouldn't have the mirror. Because beating Agahnim, having the mirror and the Moon Pearl allows you to automatically makes you have to actually respawn the Dark World, at least in Randomizer.
And the book was in Sahasla's cave.
House.
And the ocarina.
Flute!
That is huge, actually.
Yes, that is. That opens up Death Mountain.
So I guess the effort to fight Agahnim was quite worth it this time.
Yes, it was. Both runners, I'm sure, are immediately going to the Sanctuary and then to Kakariko to get their flute.
It seems Alanim was a bit quick with the startling location.
Yeah. But, so let's see, this opens quite a few spots. Desert if they want to take the easy route. Though Mega still needs to get his free bulk. And Alanim can basically just go straight for Desert or to Death Mountain, which I say is probably the best play. As probably you'll get gloves there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. We could actually get a split here where Icarus is heading for the mountains and Alanim may opt to do the desert since he have quick access to desert anyway.
Yeah, plus he has the book, so although he doesn't have the lamp to finish it, the lamp or the fire rod, but either way, you're more than likely going to find it somewhere, and why not desert? So I'm betting both runners will probably take a quick hop to Death Mountain, which I see Mega doing.
I think for Alanim, I would actually go to desert just to check at least the ledge item, because you can quick scout it, and if it has something useful, you can go in and grab it very quickly. So
that is very true.
I think he opts to do that actually.
Yep. So wow, we predicted the remarks.
But he's heading straight for Agina's cave, it seems, so he's not even checking that item.
I'm betting you he's going to stop there first to see if he actually is getting either the mitts, glove, or maybe even mirror, or even.
Yeah, but it would have taken him just 2 seconds more to check what the ledge item was, which he has access to. So.
Which did you happen to see what the old man gave?
No, sorry, I missed that.
Chat, help us out here.
Moon Pearl from Mountain Man, that is huge.
Oh, sweet!
Just the blue rupee on the spectacled rock.
Yeah, so I guess going to Death Mountain was the right play.
And shovel in the rock, so another fetch quest.
Yeah, I've seen a few that have been super trolly. And I think there was one last night that they two racers had to beat Agahnim to get to have access to the lumberjack item, which was what I think the flippers, which they did to actually get the mirror, to get the boots, to basically go through all that to finally get their flippers because the swamp was required. Now both runners actually having the Moon Pearl and a dead Agahnim means they can go to Dark World.
Yeah, unfortunately they can't go back.
Yeah, that's true. But even without that, they could still check it. I mean, at least they've got, what, catfish?
Yeah, they don't have flippers, hammer, or hookshot at this point, so there's not too much of exploring in the Dark World at this point, actually.
Yeah, that is true.
So it will be interesting to see what Icarus does if the shovel doesn't give anything useful. If he remembers that he has missed Sahasra's hut, Alanim actually have... oh, then the mirror! Digging up the mirror.
Yeah,
Never mind.
that's gonna be good. Now here's the question. You now have Dark World access, you now have the mirror. Where do you go?
Oh, the Titan Smith on Desert Ledge. Wow.
Wow.
Not sure where he's heading now, though.
I'm really missing out on that one.
Oh yeah, this is Icarus. So Alanim chose to not even scout the item on the ledge, and that could cost him because he actually had access to Titansmith earlier on.
Yeah. He had the book, he had everything else. And I let him just getting his mirror. Which is still always very useful.
So Icarus knows he will have to enter Desert Palace, but at this point he can't. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes now. If he realizes that he has some locations left.
Yes, that is true. With the mirror is going to probably check out Hera. As is Mega, which is kind of... I'm thinking Mega does not realize he has not been to Sasha's hut.
Yeah, that could be dangerous. I mean, Tower Fire is not a bad decision. They have to make it eventually. But if it leads to more items opening up, Kidicarus could be going a long way without visiting Sahasrat, and might even forget about the location.
That is true. But
and Alanim can also grab the tablet on the way, which he is, and which Icarus cannot.
That is true. Just one extra item for him.
And the bow! Wow, that is huge.
Yes, that is.
So that means Icarus will eventually, he will have to come back here to get that bow. Oh, and grabbing the 5 rupees. But unfortunate for Alanim, he doesn't know that the desert item is Titansmith.
Yeah, I mean, each of them have an upgrade that the other doesn't, and that's seriously going to change their routing. I mean, for megakidicarus, he knows that the Titansmith are in the desert, but he doesn't have the bow yet. Whereas Alanim actually has the bow, but doesn't know where the mitts are. But either way, they're both going to say hi, hi to each other when fighting Moldor.
Yes, the desert ledge was Titansmith's indeed.
Yep.
Which Icarus knows because he scouted the location, but Alanim was there but did not scout the item location.
Yeah, he just checked Agahnem's cave and then left. Either way, they're both about to get their first crystal. So, do you remember which crystal it was?
I don't. think we had number 5 and 7, and was it 1 in Light World?
I don't remember either. Chat, do you remember the actual glance we got? Was
Someone in chat called Salmon.
Boots!
Oh,
Apparently
that's
chat's
nice.
saying Boots from Moldorm. Yeah, that is nice.
And once again, Alanim seemed to pick the wrong start location.
Yeah, but he's probably going to check. Yep, he's going to Bonk Cave.
That is good. I think it's a good habit to check that location once you get the boots. You might forget it later otherwise.
Yeah, it's always true to check that location. Just the troll. Mega opting to just fly.
I think this time around he will. No, he will not. It seems he will head for Eastern Palace since he had the bow.
Yep. Which hopefully Eastern will have something there. So, game logic wise, I'm betting you they would think that you possibly have Titan's Mets at present, so you probably have a lot more access. And you would have probably gone to Village of Outcasts. So, I'm betting Eastern might have a few more less important items, or a good troll.
Yeah, that seems likely. Alanim we know that Alanim has basically access to a huge variety of different locations since he has access to the Titansmith.
And Mega finally getting his book. He's headed to Shasura, so he's probably gonna get his book.
That's good, and we know that he's going to get Titansmith very soon because he cannot finish Eastern Palace without the bow.
Nope, but he can get through most of Desert. Which, if you're there, you could check Desert, or do you try to finish Desert, or immediately go to,
Well, at this point he can't finish up the complete Desert since he's not having the Lamp or Fire Rod.
Yeah, but he will have access to most of it, and if it's there, it's, very useful to finish it since it is a crystal dungeon.
Yeah, it is a good question actually, because wrapping it up, that part of Desert Palace could be a good idea actually, but at the same time, Titansmith opens up a world of new locations, so we'll see actually.
Dark world of new locations.
Yeah, especially since they have the mirror as well, that opens up a lot of quests and locations in the Outcast Village.
That is true.
It seems that Icarus is going for Eastern Palace anyway, without bow.
I think he's thinking that the bow might be in there.
I must say, in my eyes, that seems like a bit of a gamble since he basically knows about the Titansmith.
Yeah, that's true. So Alan getting his second crystal real soon.
The good news for Alanim is very soon he's basically getting forced to heading to Desert anyway, which he very much needs.
That's true. Don't remember which crystal it was, so I'm just going to mark, well,
I
one
think
of them done.
Desert Palace was the 5th and Eastern Palace was the 7th.
Okay, so I'll mark the 7th down for them. Since essentially he's just about to get that one.
Oh, Alanim running out of arrows. Luckily for him, there are plenty in the pots.
That's true.
And the armor's fight is a very easy one with silver arrows.
Yep, one hit to each of them. Which is very, very useful. Oh, but missing a few shots there. But he gets the compass for it. But still, being up a crystal can help. Even though he may not know where everything is, you know, you still have access to catfish, so let's hope he doesn't decide to go all the way there.
It seems he is going to check the last item, the big chest, vanilla big key chest.
Yeah. Which I have seen have a few good items too. And megakidicarus is going to check the last chest he can and then immediately probably go to desert.
And just some more bombs.
But you never have too many bombs. Just like you never have too many bonks.
That is true. Dudu is pointing out they don't have access to catfish. You actually need either the hammer or the gloves to get there.
That is true. So I'm guessing he's going to be forced to check desert. And Mega, I don't know if he realizes he doesn't have the hammer or...
I think he's going to check the Master Sword pedestal, actually.
That's always a very fun thing. Especially when we all are hoping for that magical sword seed. I know our runners aren't, but...
Yeah, but as a viewer, that's very exciting if it contains something useful. Which is very rare. We only seen it twice in this tournament so far,
Yes, I think. One was the cane and...
arrow storage. That's a bummer.
Yeah, the first one was the cane of Samaria, and last night's was ice rod. Which is hysterical, because they needed to be Trinax. That's the only reason they needed it.
And finally, Icarus is heading for desert, picking up those Titansmith. Yeah. I wonder what took him so long, because he couldn't finish the Eastern Palace at this point, so...
He was probably hoping for the bow, so he didn't have to fight Landmolus with just the sword. Or the lamp. Because he doesn't have a lamp either.
That is true.
Either way, even if he does, as soon as he gets the Titansmiths, even if he doesn't find the lamp, he's probably going to warp right back to here to check Mire. Because he will have access to every chest in the Mire, you know, apart from the dungeon itself.
And Alanim's still not going to the desert, refuses to get the Titansmith, and heading for another adventure. I'm not really sure where.
That is true.
He is going to need either the hammer or the hookshot to check more locations. And he can't get the basement chest in Tower of Hera because he doesn't have the Lamp of Fire, so...
And I think he's finally realizing that. And finally he's going to realize he missed the Titansmiths.
He did Titansmith. I wonder if he should have checked that earlier.
So both Richards are about ready to get their mitts. I'll go ahead and mark that off for them.
So luckily for Alanim, the game was basically forcing him to go to the desert, whether he wanted it or not.
Yep. Titansmith's one of those items that you actually can't ever have in the Master Sword pedestal. Actually, no, wait, you can have them in there, they're just always required. But it's shaping up to be a really interesting seed.
Yeah, and very even race so far.
Yeah, I mean, neither of them have the lamp, neither of them have Fire Rod, but it's, you know, seriously just going to be one of those seeds that just... It's probably going to end up being a giant troll at some point. Well, I'm basically mirroring back to save a bit of time. Or is megakidicarus is finally getting his hands on the mitts. How did
So
they
he
pick up?
he wasn't first to get the book, but he was first to get the Titan's Mitt.
Yeah.
And it seems he's going to check the Misery Maya Western locations.
Yep.
Basically,
Also... Go ahead.
no, I think we were going to say the same.
Yeah.
2 free chests and additional 1 in Lightwell in the corner.
Yes. And probably also, if I recall correctly, was Meyer needed? Because you can always check on what medallion is needed for that.
Yeah, Mr. Maya was a crystal.
Okay, if that's either, I'd still open it up. Just because you're here, you're going to get the other stuff anyway, so why not? I mean, would you consider taking the time now, since you're already present, to just set it up?
It seems he's not.
Looks like they both had the same idea.
Yeah, it is very accessible and basically 3 item locations for free, so why not?
Yeah.
And Icarus is going for that heart piece, so...
Oh, they're both low on hearts, so...
Yeah, but I don't think Alanim will. We have seen him skip a whole heart container, so
yeah.
I imagine piece of heart won't be that interesting to him.
That's true. The Mega, I'm betting, is going for village. Out of Flipper's location. Nope, village.
Yeah, that seems to be the logical choice, especially since they had the mirror and the Titan's Mitt. There are so many item locations you can have. And I don't know if megakidicarus... Yeah, okay, he realizes the other side is the hammer side and this one is the Titan's Mitt side.
But... both of them probably checking out Grilled to Outcasts. It's 6 is the village. It was Skullwood 7 or 1?
I don't think it was either, or...
I saw that it was a crystal, and 100 rupees for Mega from the chest game. Oddly enough, one of those small bugs that is going to be gone into the new logic, which is sad.
What bug?
Okay, so apparently if you go back into the chest game, after getting the items, you can essentially keep getting 100 rupees from it.
I thought that was intentional. I didn't know that was a bug.
Yeah, apparently it's a bug, because it's going to be taken out in the next logic.
Yeah, I did know it was missing in the next logic, but I thought that was just a change. I thought it was at some point made that way to be able to farm for flippers or something. But that's nice to know.
Yeah. So take advantage while you can. The cape! The cape of the sea house!
But still no access to bumper caves since they don't have the hookshot.
That is true.
But it looks like Icarus is at least going to either check it or... Yeah, it seems he is going to check the bumper cave. I don't know if he realizes he can't finish it yet.
Unless he wants to try to hover.
He's not going to enter anyway, just for 20 rupees.
Yeah.
It seems Alanim has the very same idea.
Yeah. Though, I think Mega is probably... It looks like he might be checking Skull Woods.
It seems the chat is correcting me, you don't need hookshot for bumper cave.
Better question is whether or not you have access to Skull Woods. You have access to Thieves Town, which is 2 good locations to check. Looks like Alanim is going to check the King's Tomb and the cliff behind the graveyard.
I must say I'm a bit surprised by Icarus' choice once again. He is going to Skullwoods without the Fire Rod, but the thing that bugs me a bit is that he has so many item locations in the Dark World to check. He has the blacksmith, the digging game, and along that the purple chest and the bush ring, and also the haunted guy with that gives you the shoveling vanilla. And along that he has the Bombos tablet and also the hype cave. So there are so many items location he can check and eventually get the Fire Rod. But instead he is going with a mega gamble and going into the Skullwoods. And I'm not too sure about that decision.
I think he's trying to check it all now so that way as soon as he gets it... Oh, and the hook shot!
Is off with the hook shot. Wow, that is huge.
Yes, that is amazing.
Wow, that puts him... that is a very useful item, and if the Fire Rod is a late item, that might actually... could potentially be that Alanim is getting the hookshot very late, because it might be he's not going to Skullwoods without the Fire Rod.
Yeah. I mean... I have seen a lot of good items in Skullwoods. Even if it's a pendant dungeon, it's always worth a quick check. Because it's real easy to check, and...
Yeah, the Skullwoods is crystal number 1, actually.
Okay. So that means, what, 7's in the Light World? But...
Yeah, I think Eastern Palace was number 7.
Wow. So... Alanim actually... As soon as he beats Thieves Town, he has access to the Fat Fairy.
Yeah, that is true, but it will be interesting to see if he goes there without the hammer. He might be... it seems he's going to check some other locations first, which seems logical at this point. Not really sure what made Icarus go into the Skullwoods, but that gamble paid off well.
I mean, I could see just popping in there because if it's a crystal dungeon, you know, you can check all the items now, even if you can't get to the boss. And you might get yourself a key right, you know, now, so that way you can just immediately head straight to the, you know, to Mafila. And the blacksmith's only paying him $20 for allowing him to return him home.
I do understand what you're saying about Icarus' choice, but at the same time he is going to have some of these locations later anyway. And if those locations contains the Fire Rod, that means he has to go to Skullwoods twice, so why not check them first? Seems a bit strange to me, but...
I'm guessing it's because of the fact of you're in the area, it's not that, you know, ultimate check, and if you find the Fire Rod in there, you automatically have access to it, considering it is a crystal dungeon.
Yeah, true. And also, if he finds the Fire Rod in there, that would be huge.
Yeah, because it just feels like, you know, you're in the area. It's the same reason why, you know, you kind of want to check Thieves Town's, you know, first 4 chests, even without that. You know, even without the hammer, which I've seen quite a few runners do, and be rewarded immensely, with the big chest having nothing, and then I've seen players just... Oh, the red mail! Alanim! That's gonna help.
Yeah, that's very good. He still has only 7 hearts, so the red mail is certainly welcome. And Icarus leaving the chest behind while dashing.
Yeah, I know I've forgotten a time or two myself. And again, I've gotten stuck where it's just like, you know, warped to get, you know, one of the things and then just, you know, couldn't manage to get back, you know, soon enough because getting hit by enemies into my warp again. Now that really did suck because having to go all the way back for it.
The Alanim is bringing the chest to the hype cave, it seems.
Yeah, I guess he's wondering whether or not the creature in there can manage to open it for him.
And at this point, with all the items they have, it's very hard for the hype cave to live up to its name.
Let's get a hype in there.
The bottom, that's nice.
Another heart, the mushroom, and Quake!
Yeah, that is a good hype cave indeed.
Especially the hearts for them, because they need them.
That was very lucky for, very good for Alanim. 2 extra heart containers, along with the red mail earlier. So good news on the survival there for Alanim.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like megakidicarus is also maybe thinking about that later.
I think he is. I think just he wants to check these 2 items first.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna check Bombos after that. I know he's getting Bombos first, and the fire rod.
Wow. And that's what I mean. Now when he finds the fire rod, he's going back to Skullwoods once again. But unfortunately for Icarus, that also means Alanim is going to Skullwoods at some point and finding the hookshot there.
Yes, yes, it is. Technically, they both could have gone to technically they could have gone to East F Mountain because of having the hook shot. Clearing all of that out. Now with both having a fire source, that means everything is open to them.
Alanim is checking the Sikid. That's a very good choice.
Yeah.
Oh, and
the hammer!
Wow. That is huge. I was going to say that's actually an item location that could easily be forgotten, since you have already checked most of the items in Kakariko Village when you died the first time.
That is
so
true.
We'll see if Icarus remembers the Sikid.
And he's, I think, going to finish Desert. Yeah, it looks like he's going to take the back door.
Yeah, I think that's a solid choice. He has the fire rod. He has to do it eventually. Why not do it now and see what you find?
That is true. That is so true.
And Alanim heading to Skullwoods within his new fire rod, and he's going to be.
And he's going to be ecstatic to get the hook shot.
He's so ecstatic, he's falling down twice already.
Yeah. Go ahead and mark that off for him.
But did Icarus skip the hype cave now?
Yes, he has.
That could cost him dearly.
It's true. So did he also get Bombos? Try to remember if she got the hammer or not. No, he has Toxic Kid. Venom has hammer from Sick Kid, whereas Mega still hasn't checked. I think I'm right.
I mean, at this point, I would say Alanim is ahead. Icarus is not that far behind, but the problem with Icarus at this point is he has to check the Ether tablet, he has to check the hype cave. There are some locations he has to remember to check, and also the Sick Kid as well. So if he misses one of those locations, he might be in big trouble.
Yep. And he's going to be picking up his second crystal right now. So they're now both tied at 2 crystals apiece, but Alanim has more exploration items. Now that you have the hook shot, would you consider checking Death Mountain, or would you actually finish off Skull Woods?
I think I would check the Death Mountains actually if it has any useful items. Maybe more heart containers to pump up your life before going there.
Yeah.
And since he hasn't visited the Hype Cave, he doesn't have any bottle yet, so...
Yeah, which, as we know, the bottle kid / Sick Kid has it. So will East Death Mountain be as good as Hype Cave? Alanim actually having to drink his only potion to get in there.
Yeah, magic can be quite a tricky resource when you don't have half magic or fourth magic.
Yeah, he's checking the sword. He's going to breathe a huge sigh of relief for not having to get all the pendants.
But Icarus is having a ton of chests to check, both here and in the Dark World, actually.
Yes, but it's still useful. Having trouble killing that last mortal one.
I'm sorry, I thought I marked the blue bottle, but I think I did it for the wrong player. Sorry about that.
It happens. Let's see, bomb upgrade, some rupees, and the lamp! The lamp for Mega!
A very good find.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I am not a fan of dark rooms.
I actually am. I lost the first game in the tournament because I couldn't do Dark Room, and after that I practiced so much, and now I'm just hoping to get that lampless run.
I know
But
I've got to practice with that myself, but I don't know if I'd be able to do them or not. But...
And Alanim has to be a bit careful about his magic resource.
Yeah.
Now it's gone.
Yeah.
He has already used his bulb.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate for him.
Yep. And megakidicarus checking the Dark World.
Actually, the best option for Alanim at this point is probably being grabbed by that hand to reset all the pots and getting more magic.
Yeah, and I think he's letting himself.
What he's doing.
Yeah, the 2 Super Bunny chests yield the flippers!
Wow.
Now that is a find. So even though Mega does not have the hammer, he has the flippers. Which does open up a few more areas. And he's now checking a hookshot cave. Which, even if you have the hookshot, do you still take the free bonk to get the bonk chest here?
I usually end up using the hookshot anyway.
Yep. More bombs, though I think Mega missed a chest. And another potion!
Actually, his first bottle, right?
Yes, it is. So he'll soon be picking up the hammer.
I wonder if he remembers about the sick kid.
Hopefully.
Could be an easy item location to be forgotten, but we'll see about
And I think he's also checking ledge item. You know, the floating island item.
Did he scout it before or not? Didn't really
don't
see.
remember. I do not remember. And Alanim, isn't that his 3rd crystal or his 2nd? It is his 3rd.
Yes, the 3rd.
That's always useful. So Alanim is ahead on crystals and items.
It's looking really good for Alanim at this point. He hasn't finished the Desert Palace, but that is a quick dungeon to finish up.
Yep. So, if I were Mega, I would have also checked Turok, because I think that's also needed. If I remember. But then again, I've watched so many of these races that it is hard to remember now.
And
And
nothing
just some
exciting. Yeah, nothing exciting for Spirit Cave.
Yeah.
And now it's actually going to be interesting to see where Kid Icarus is heading now. Does he remember about the sick kid? Is the big question right now.
I think he might. But it's one of those things. It's like, yes, he does. He does remember.
He might be just he does remember indeed. I was afraid he was going back to Skullwards immediately, but he does remember, and that is paying off well.
Yes. So he now has his hammer, which, as we know, is very useful. And it looks like Alanim is going into Thieves Town.
Icarus is probably going to do either Scalwoods or Thief Town himself.
Probably, I'd say finish up Woods, you have the items now, and then maybe Thieves Town? I think he's trying to decide himself, but it looks like he said Thieves. Which is very good, because that's Crystal 7. Oh, wait, it's 6. Either way, I know one of them will soon have access to that. To the Fat Fairies items. Now, I really hope that both racers remember, that they can check, the Fat Fairy, and don't really just brush it off. I mean, it's had some good items before. It's had a few items that have been luxury items, even.
Yeah, that is an easy location to forget, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Butter Sword there. Which, I don't know about you, but Tempered Sword Cannon's okay, but if I stumble across the Butter Sword, I think I'm picking that one up to fight Ganon with.
Yeah, absolutely. That also depends how experienced player you are with the Ganon fights, but it is significantly harder with the Tempered Sword, in my opinion.
Well, unless you want to try for all spin attacks, but I don't think we're all that good for it.
Yes, Agahnim has been defeated, and I'm realizing now that the item tracker has that option, so sorry about that.
Yeah, just like they took off the go button, though. I think they actually replaced Agahnim. I think Agahnim was the thing that replaced the go button. Yeah, but still. megakidicarus has got to be a little worried. He's down to 3.5 hearts. Though he does have a potion. Unlike Alanim, who actually has used his only potion. And neither of them attempting the race through the Hellway with the boots. So what will Blind say today? That's always an interesting question. Alan, I'm checking the big chest first.
Which could be either the map or something useful, or just a piece of heart.
Which is pretty useful considering that neither of them have really gotten much health. Though personally, I'm of the opinion of checking the big chest with the thief in tow, or whatever you'd want to call Blind. Though I do have to say, he should will probably be really happy with his blind fight, because it looks like he's maybe going for hammer strats? Oh no, good, he's going for cape strats. I don't know about you, but I am really not the best at fighting blind.
I also have some problems, actually, especially when I'm going bottleless or don't have any fairies.
Yeah. I mean, there's still always the free fairy from Kakariko Village, is Sweeping Lady, if you've got the powder. Which I still find that funny. There are 2 NPCs in the village that if you sprinkle the powder on, they will actually turn into different things. One of them being a human, and the other being a Baku, which turns into a human. And Mega Did he skip? I think he already checked the big chest.
Yeah, he did.
Alan, hammer dashing those pegs, which I always wondered, why most racers tend to just, bonk the last 3 pegs in the net.
The net. Time to grab some fairies potentially.
Yeah.
But still no magic powder, so he has to find actual fairies.
Yes, that is true.
Kid Icarus is not using his cape, but half a heart. Time to bring that. Oh, he's playing in bottle instead of the cape.
Yeah. Maybe we're forgetting that he has the cape, because that's always a useful trick. And Alanim checking the digging game. As in Randomizer normally, it only takes you 15 shovels to get the item. If I recall correctly, Vanilla, they did have the item at a certain location, and the red boomerang in the digging game.
The question is, where is Alanim heading now? Is he heading for Death Mountains, or where is he going?
Let's see, you've got the hammer, you've got the hook shot, you have the Titan's mitts. I'd go for Death Mountain.
Yeah, but at the same time, Swamp Palace is an option as well, so...
Yeah, but I think he's trying to find the cane. The red cane, just so that way he's then... Well, he's also got to check Turtle Rock. Was Turtle Rock required?
No, it's a pendant dungeon.
Oh good, then he doesn't have to find the ice rod, but he does need the cane. So, if Meyer is either Ether or Quake, yeah, he'll be in go mode.
That's true, I forgot about Alan does not have the flippers yet, but he will have them very soon.
Yeah, because he'll be...
So of course he couldn't do the Swamp Palace as I suggested.
Yeah. And he's checking out Spike Cave. And remember, he does have that cape. It's a lifesaver there. Looks like megakidicarus is taking your advice though about the Swamp Palace.
I think he's going to check the Hype Cave now that he has the hammer.
And the Ice Rod!
Oh.
The Ice Rod in the Spike Cave. Always a useful find. No matter what. Knowing how much of a troll that item could be, just knowing that you have it is always good.
And the Icarus is about to pick up some more heart containers along with Quake and another bottle.
Yes, which is always useful.
Turtle Rock is not required. We have seen that the Master Sword pedestal is just an arrow upgrade, so and Turtle Rock is not the green pendant, so at this point it will not be required, but it might have the Cane of Samaria potentially. No.
Turtle Rock.
No, it will not have the cane, of course,
Yeah.
since you need it immediately.
Technically, you could do a sequence break, but for this, probably not. So I don't know about you, but I'm not going to try to hover through all that.
But at this point, Samaria is the only missing item from Go mode, right?
Yup.
And now Icarus is heading for Swamp Palace, since he does have the flippers, so...
And he just got it. And Alanim just got his lamp, which is always nice. And he also... Did he just pick up the flippers as well?
I think it was in the Hookshot Cave.
Not sure.
He hasn't been there yet.
Looks like megakidicarus is taking the swamp, which is still going to be useful. Okay, got to mark off. He also has Thieves Town. None of them have checked Zoro yet, chat.
Now Alanim is finding himself his flippers.
And apparently, chat's telling us the. Oh, that is priceless. Someone in the chat calling for the Cane of Samaria in Zoro.
Well, that is certainly possible. At this point, we are running out of item locations at this point, and the cane has to be somewhere.
Yep.
But Swamp Palace is containing 6 item locations, so we'll see what they can find in here.
Yep, I know I usually tend to forget how many each dungeon has, but I usually go by the, okay, does it have a, do I have all the items in there? And if yes, then I'm good. Yep, I've got all the dungeon items.
And we also have to remember, of course, Kid-Icarus has not yet gotten the bow from the Ether tablet. So, does he remember that item locations? Because he has been to Tower of Hera. He has to specifically remember that item locations in order to get the bow.
That's too true.
It could be he does remember it, but it's still a single item location and very far away, so he might not be too eager to check that location before when he has other options left.
Yeah. If you, Alanim, would you consider checking Swamp, or where would you consider going next? I mean, you have 4 crystals. You know Mire is needed. You have access to the whatever you want to call the Fat Fairy. I've heard a lot of names for it. I've heard double-chested, big-breasted, wide load, large mards. I have no clue. Chat, you got a name we should call from now on?
Not really sure where Alanim is heading actually at this point. Could it be Quakefish and Zora's domain?
Possibly. And it looks like, yeah, he is going that way.
And he also has the mushroom, so that could be 4 item locations in total. 1 for Quakefish and 1 for the mushroom and 2 for Zora.
And I think Vega's trying to reset the dungeon. I didn't see whether or not if he accidentally flooded the 1 key.
Oh yeah, I think he did. He floated the key, he floated the room and then entered, and realizing immediately that the small key is in the pot below the water now, so...
I think it was either that or he screwed up one of the block puzzles and couldn't figure out how to reset it.
Oh, okay, so he didn't actually reset the water.
Nah. But, looks like, yeah, this room only yielded bombs. So, I'd say if it was arrows, you know, drugs for explosives? Or explosive drugs. Then again, I guess the potion might end up giving you explosive diarrhea. And let's see, catfish. Our friendly neighborhood catfish. Ooh, 300 rupees. Even if you weren't thinking about going to Zoro, you just got 3/5 of the way to get there. So, yeah, I think I could Zoro. The ledge item is another 100 rupees. Well, hey, at least you're recouping some of the 500 rupee investment.
Magic powder for Icarus. That could potentially become mandatory.
Yes,
if the cave bat has the cane.
that's true. So let's see. Zoro gives us the power glove. The power glove. So sad.
The old power glove. Not useful anymore.
Well, it's still useful if you want to play some classic Nintendo games, and you really know how to use a power glove.
And seems Icarus has finally realized he couldn't get the last small key and has to reset the water level.
That's true. But have we seen Myers' location yet? Don't think so.
What did you say?
I said, looks like Alanim is actually checking Myers' medallion. That, because I think he did already beat Desert, didn't he?
He didn't do the desert, he didn't finish it because he didn't have the fire rod or the lantern at that point.
Oh yeah. So, looks like he's finishing up Desert then. And probably after that, checking Meyer. Maybe, if he finds the cane, which we know he won't. I'm thinking he was hoping, okay, maybe I could actually knock out both of them at once. Though, you know, I know a lot of runners tend to love the whole, well, if I could do Eastern and Pod as a 1-2 punch, you know, that works, or if I could do Desert and Meyer that way. It saves me the time from going everywhere. I've also seen players that have gotten really lucky go for Turtle Rock and then Tower of Hera, because then they can immediately go straight to Ganon. Looks like chat's saying it was Quake. So both runners have access to the Meyer. So I think Alan is maybe going to check Meyer after this.
Not too sure about that. That's a bit questionable since he can't finish it if he doesn't find the cane. So I'm not sure. Since Swamp Palace has 6 items, I think maybe he's going to check that first. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, cane could be there. I'm a fan of the whole, you know, if you're in a dungeon and you're by a dungeon, if you remember that you need to finish it, especially if it's a dungeon you need to finish, checking first, because even if you don't find the items needed, you can always come back, and that second trip is always useful. Well, the first trip's always useful for the fact of you don't have to find the key. Looks like you're right. I think he might be opting for another location.
And bombos for Icarus.
Wow, so he's got all 3 medallions, which is very useful. And I think you're right with him checking, with Alanim actually checking Swamp.
Yeah, I think that's a logical choice, since it has a lot of items and he needs to do Swamp Palace anyway, so not much to lose there actually.
Yeah, considering that it, you know, we know he will find Bombos and a few other things.
So the cane location is basically Icarus' hope to get back in this game. If it turns out to be in Palace of Darkness or in Misery Mire, that could be a potential turnover in this game. But at this point, Kidicarus can't really finish up the Palace of Darkness without a bow, but he can check some of the item locations. So we'll see if you remember about that Ether tablet.
That's right, he never checked Ether, which had the bow. Because he still has to beat Eastern.
The question is what Icarus is going to do now. He is very close to Link's house in the Dark World, so he might be able to check the Fat Fairy, actually.
That is true. That is very true.
It seems Mega has accidentally stopped his clock, or he thinks he's done with this game.
No, I just think it's probably an accidental hit. Don't worry, folks. That's why we use SRL's time for the official, for the official times.
And Icarus, of course, is heading for Skullwoods because he didn't clear that up when he was there the first time.
Yep. That is, at least he'll finally get another, crystal to his count.
Yeah, I'm just curious what he's going to do next, if he's going to get a gamble from one of the dungeons, or if he remembers that he forgot to check the ether tablet. He actually has a couple of more locations that he hasn't checked, so we'll see if he wants to clear the overworld locations first, or if he wants to go for a dungeon instead.
That is very true.
And Alanim not making the same mistake as Icarus and grabbing that key before pulling the water level.
Yeah, I think we're all fans of not having to re-go into the dungeon.
Yeah, that is a pain. I've been close to do it sometimes, but very glad I didn't.
I know for myself, in vanilla, whenever I play casually, I'll just get all the chests and try to remember which routes are trolls. At least nice for Alanim, he'll be able to pick up his bombos and his powder. What do you think? Bat Fairy or the Bat Cave and Batman?
It's a good question. I will have to say Fat Fairy.
Now, what do you think the other chest will be? Troll or something possibly useful?
Maybe the Battle Sword. Haven't seen that yet.
That would be great. That would be great. That or maybe one of the lesser shields, but I doubt that.
Well, Kraken, the powder has already been found by Icarus, so it is in the Swan Palace, so that's not possible for Fairytales.
Yeah, as with Bombos as well. Though, I do have to say, I am a fan of at least, and a heart container in the big chest. But no, I am a fan of actually, if I'm on my way to Zoro and I still don't have a decent shield, meaning if I'm still using the fighter shield, if I feel like I might have the split second to go, I will pop into the Wishing Well and actually just upgrade that right there. I mean, later in the game, the fighter shield is okay, but I kind of want a bit more protection.
Yeah, the fight shield is better than nothing, certainly, but it doesn't help you to protect for too much of projectiles later in the game.
I know, and if I'm, just right there going to Zoro, after stopping at Catfish, yeah, you're gonna warp to the light world anyway. Why not take the extra, let's say about half a minute to a minute thing, if that, to just pop into the Wishing Well, throw your shield into the fairy, and then get back your, the red shield. Then again, if you're really a fan of the red boomerang, you could always throw in your boomerang and get that for free.
Yeah, that is true. I loved to do that in the vanilla game when I was a kid.
So did I.
True
So did I.
items and getting an improved version.
Yeah. Though I wish they would take out her text so you just bring up the item selection screen automatically, or just do like they do with Fat Fairy and just give her a straight up chest in front of there. But I guess since technically they're upgrades, would you consider them an actual sort of chest item? Then again, you have the same thing with Fat Fairy too.
It seems Icarus is doing the same mistake as Alanim and not having the head clear for the count of items in Skullwoods and checking in the big chest, which we know is crap.
Yeah. Big Chest really not having a lot of good stuff today. And Alanim getting his crystal from... I have no clue how to pronounce the boss's name, so I'm not even gonna try, but you know, I mean, he's getting real close.
Yeah, he certainly is, but he is gated by that cane, so it's still not decided this race. He's not still in the go mode, and he is running out of locations to check. Meanwhile, Icarus is looking for the bow to finish off Eastern Palace.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure as soon as he sees Ether has the bow, I think he's going to be excited. But now he's finally checking Batman location, so let's see if the powder is worth it.
And I guess Alanim is doing the same.
Yep. So let's see. I always wondered why anytime he hits you with that, you have lightning surrounding you. Just a piece of heart.
So still no show of the cane.
Yep.
And Icarus at this point must be wondering what item locations do I have left to check.
Yeah, looks like he's headed for the Dark World, so...
I wonder if he considered the pyramid item and the super bomb, but at this point it seems he's going to Quakefish and the Zora item, which he hasn't yet picked up.
In which we know is a giant troll. Because they already have the better gloves. But then again, power gloves are always good. Because, you know, you can't always use them. In fact, you could always use them while playing Zelda. It's like, if you could put a power glove on each hand, just hold your SNES controller and just, oh hey, I'm playing with the power gloves. So I guess I'm playing with power.
And Alanim is going to Misermine, taking, I don't know if I would say gamble, he is going to have to check a dungeon, and why not even check the Misermire, which is required anyway.
And Mega dropping off his mushroom, but forgetting to come back for the item.
That is a bit weird. He could grab it later, but that would make no sense because going back and forth is very quick, so...
Yeah. I think he might actually... he's going for Catfish first.
Yeah, and he might... of course, he can use the flute to get to the second location, but he cannot use the flute in Zora's domain, so he is going to have to do a bit of traveling anyway.
Something I always tend to forget. Though I think he might have also forgotten that there, but... even still. But yeah, I'm a fan of them at least putting maybe one item in the Venus Cave, you know, or whatever her name is. Just love the credits actually just naming her Venus. But...
Who are we talking about? The Fat Fairy or?
The, Wishing Well Fairy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's... you know, I'm just going by whatever they name her in the credits. But yeah, he'll realize he's getting... but Mega's getting the other glove. But it looks like he is going to stop and maybe get the rupees.
That is surprising because he has already 842 rupees, so...
maybe he's going for the even 1,000. Then again, playing the original ones in Zelda, apparently your arrow count was based off of how much money you had. Because each arrow counted as 1 rupee. But yes, we know that the timers are not in sync anymore.
Has Icarus not checked the Hoba item?
I think he did, but I don't remember.
Or maybe it was Alanim who did it.
Yeah,
I think it was like 5 rupees, if I recall correctly.
Yep, just $5. However much the Hyrule equivalent for, rupees to, pick your currency. Yep, just $5.
Now I am curious to see where Kid Icarus is heading now. He still has the Super Bomb and the Fat Fairy items, and that is actually 2 item locations in one. So
yes,
that is, in his mind, that should be a better location than checking the Ether tablet. But
yes,
the Ether tablet is the correct choice.
Yes, though you've also cleared out part of Eastern, which is useful. But it's like, so what's
Alanim
left?
is draining his magic for the cape. He has only a half of a heart left.
Yeah.
He has to be careful here, but he's at least going to get a big key chest.
Yeah, which is always worth getting. Which, since he hasn't found the big key yet, vanilla location, you think?
What did you say?
I said he hasn't checked the big key chest yet, as you said. So, think it's the vanilla location?
For me, it often has been the vanilla location. So.
Yeah. It is again.
But it doesn't matter too much actually, because he still needs that cane, and that's what he's here to looking for. So
yeah, I think he's just basically setting it up so that way he can get through everything, despite needing the cane. Then picking up some health, some desperately needed health.
I'm not sure where. I think he's going for magic, but he cannot continue further into this dungeon, and he realizes it. And I think at this point he is going straight for Palace of Darkness.
Pod or maybe the Fat Fairy. So that would be such a troll if Pod has it and the Helmosaur King has the cane too.
It is true, the Fat Fairy is a great option for Alanin, but I'm actually surprised he didn't check that before heading into Mr. Meyer. It might be that both players has forgotten about that item location.
Yeah, I mean, Alanim is actually going for Pod. Which is a pendant dungeon. Was it the green pendant? Oh, I just thought of something even trollier.
What?
What if Sahasrara has the actual cane?
Yeah, that is a possibility. Which one was the green pendant? That was...
I do not remember.
I think it was Palace of Darkness. So Alanim at this point might be finishing off the Palace of Darkness regardless of finding all the items.
Yeah, and if the Fat Fairy doesn't have it, then Pod would be a good choice.
Now, potentially here, the way I can see Kid Icarus come back at this point is if the pyramid contains the cane and Alanim somehow forgot about it. Then if he catches up on the Ether tablet and the pyramid items, that might be his way back into the race.
Yes, And megakidicarus picking up his bug catching net.
We'll see if Icarus is heading for dungeon or more overworld locations. It seems he's going to
Hard
Palace
as
of
well.
Darkness, but that is a harder choice for Icarus to do because he doesn't have the bow, so he can't actually finishing up the Palace of
Yeah.
Darkness, and that means he can't get the green pendant.
Maybe he's checking pod to see that bow isn't in there. It is possible to be in there. At least I'm glad both runners have enough money for Kiki. That's because we had someone last night actually forget that they needed money for her.
That is not a great thing to discover when you're there.
Yeah, it's like grabbed her, went over, realized they didn't have it, the money for it, thought that, it's like, so what's wrong? Goes back to get her again and loses more rupees because of it.
So I guess in one way, Icarus could actually get lucky here if he gets locked out from more keys, requiring to get the chests that are after the room that requires the bow. So
yeah, because if he gets the cane, he probably will take care of Meyer, which means he'd only need Eastern left. Well, Eastern and Pod. And since both of those can be done back to back, as soon as he finds the bow, he'll probably take care of both of those, while if Alanim doesn't actually take
and now actually Kid Icarus is heading for that location, but okay, he's going for the warp, no? He can't, if he goes south here, he can't get any further because there is a room that requires the bow, and it seems he doesn't really realize that yet.
Unless he knows something we both don't, that he actually can, that you can only kill those red mimics with the bow. I mean, because if he knows some way of killing without the bow, I'd love to know.
I think he did realize that actually.
Yeah.
He changes his mind and he's going back to the main room, which has some more chests, so not a bad choice.
Yep, and a heart container for Alim. And, that'll be useful for him, as you can always use more hearts in this game. I have yet to see someone not have a male upgrade for Ganon, or at least get their male upgrade in Ganon's tower. But I know Ganon hurts if you hug him, or he hugs you.
Definitely, especially in green mail, he is plowing through 8 hearts for every hit, so
yeah,
that is very, very tough.
So that's what, 3 hits and you're dead, essentially?
Yep, if you're lucky.
Yeah, though both racers seem to be enjoying Pod. I know they're probably both not enjoying it because they're having to go through this whole area, but
the thing that is worrying me about Icarus is, since he's heading into Palace of Darkness...
And there's the cane!
Oh, the cane. So Alanim is now in go mode and he wastes no time heading out immediately and heading back to Mr. Meyer.
So he's in go mode. That's right, we got a go mode. And oddly enough, he's got Link's full arsenal. The nice thing is at least that Mega will be able to get his cane.
Yes, it seems so. He has 2 small keys, so I think it's guaranteed that he will have access to that maze room in the west.
That is true. Though, the one nice thing is Alam actually having the big key already can just go straight for Vitreous.
Yeah, he is very close to being going to Ganon's tower at this point.
Yep.
And
So,
the
chat.
boss won't be a problem with the silver arrows.
Yep, 2 hits. Though second strongest boss in the game, I guess. Is it fourth? Would you consider the 6 shots for Agahnim stronger than Ganon? Because I'd assume the actual balls are about equivalent to a silver arrow, you think?
Alanim is actually running out of health, so he has to be careful, but he very soon get a chance to refill with some fairies if he wishes to do so.
Yeah, it looks like he does have a fairy in a bottle at least, so...
Could potentially grab 4 fairies in this very room.
Yep, and just taking the quick route to, the boss key, well, the boss. And megakidicarus is going to just about be picking up his, Maria, which is very useful. Though still wondering where that bow is.
He is going to be glad to find the cane, but the cane may also lead him to Mr. Meyer and looking for the bow in that location.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hope he's persistent there. Those fireballs really hurting Alanim.
Having some trouble with that block, but finally gets it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the only chambers in all the game that requires that. And megakidicarus finally realizing he can't really complete pod, but he does have the cane, so looks like he's going for Myra as well. I mean, he can complete it.
I must say I'm a bit surprised by Alanim not picking up even more fairies in that room. You basically have 2 pots where you can powder for 3 fairies.
Yeah. But so what do you think's going through Mega's head? Where's the bow? Where is the bow?
Problem for Icarus at this point is that he has locked up a new option in Misery Mire. So in his head, I think logically the bow is in Misery Mire, which we know it's not.
Yeah. I just hope he doesn't start heading into other dungeons like Ice Palace or Turtle Rock. Though if he does head for Turtle Rock, he will most likely find the, he might finally remember to get the, ether tablet.
Yeah, he might very well be reminded of that while he's there. But interesting enough, it seems like both players has totally forgotten about the pyramid items.
Yeah.
That Fat Fairy gives, because both players had a good opportunity to grab the super bomb, but seems like both of them forgot about it.
Yeah, Mega might finally check if he runs out of options or decides not to check Turtle Rock yet. Okay, chat, you know the drill. What chest do you think the big key is going to be in?
And unfortunately for Icarus, that Cane of Sumeria actually opens up Turtle Rock. So if he doesn't remember the location, he might be heading for Turtle Rock to find that bow, and that would be very unfortunate for him.
I see a lot of bobs, I see a bonk item, chest 20, my usual choice of 12.
One
15.
guess at 25, that's is impossible, I guess.
Well, yeah. Best answer I've ever seen for it was pie.
Pie, yeah, that is tricky.
My answer to that was, okay, that's the bonk, that's the torches number from now on. Alanim finally going to G Tower, and we'll at least be able to see what the medallion for Turtle Rock was.
And unfortunately for Icarus, he has all the medallions he needs, so no problem for him to enter Turtle Rock.
Yeah. If Alanim knew he was this far ahead. Oh, it was Bombos.
I'm a bit curious about Alanim's thoughts at this point, because he did have some problems finding that cane, of course. So I wonder, and he did enter Mr. Meyer and had to leave without the cane. So I'm wondering if he thinks he's ahead at this point, or if he thinks there might be a possibility that Icarus might be ahead of him.
That's a tough question as well. And Mega not opting for the fire rod. Maybe he doesn't know that you can shoot through those. I know, personally, I tend to forget that sometimes.
I think he was just low on magic and wanted to be extra safe, but running out of magic anyway.
Yeah, and we haven't found the actual magic upgrade.
But he finally gets it on the last piece of magic. I think he didn't realize that the pot before the stairs is containing a full magic.
Probably not. And as chat's pointing out, it's also difficult to do up here. And opting for Bombo strats here. I think this is what, chest 5 or no, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. See some bombs, the map. Or as I better call it, a burrito.
I'm sorry, I missed the. Did you check the east two chests first?
He did.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was two. I think one was a key, and I forget the other because I was checking on where Mega was.
That would be 7 chests at this point. Then.
Okay. So what's your
7
guess
items.
for its location?
I hope it's. I won't see more Ganon's towers. I hope it's the last one.
Yeah, maybe give Mega a chance though. It's Alanim's race to lose right now. It was on pace to possibly maybe hit a sub 2 hour mark, but it would have to be really close on that one.
Yeah, he would need to find the big key very soon and do the gauntlet fairly efficiently.
Yeah. So I wonder if he's going to, as the meme goes, validate his run with a Modern 2 chest.
That is easy to forget, and
yeah, I've seen a few runners just completely ignored it. They feel they are behind or it's a very close race, which, as we know, he's very far ahead right now.
Yeah, but he doesn't know it. He might think he is behind, actually.
Yeah, but considering that Pod held the Canis Maria, you know, it's like, do I think, you know, my opponent went into Pod? I mean, it is the Green Pendant dungeon, but, you know, and oh wow. Vitreous only doing part of his lightning attack.
Well, in that sense, Alanim is actually correct if he thinks that, because Icarus was actually heading for Palace of Darkness before Mr. Meyer, even though he didn't have the bow. So he might think that his gamble with Mr. Meyer might actually be a bad one.
Yeah. But even then, and Mega forgetting he has silver arrows here.
But he doesn't have the bow.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Because normally you have the bow. I know it. There's Bob.
He has to use those arrows with his hand.
Yeah. He really needs to find that bow. Well, he's done all the dungeons he can do without it.
I agree with Pokerific. This is the first time I've seen bombs used on Vitreous. I've never seen that before.
What, bombs?
He used bombs to kill off the eye in the end.
I've seen it a little while back.
Oh,
I know.
Icarus is heading back for the big chest, it seems.
Yeah, which you'll find that it really doesn't have anything in there. Maybe half magic and
It could have Battle Sword or half magic, as you point out.
or quarter magic. And it looks like the big key is going to the right side.
It's not very often we see the key on the right side, so a bit hyped for that.
Yeah. And Alanim just realized the key's out of magic. But he found a small container of it, so he's good. Now, does he stick to the tile room? Apparently.
That is a slow room for only one chest, actually, so...
Yeah, but at the same point, if it's on the right side, it's always the last chest on the right side. So maybe he's gambling on the fact of, well, if it's on the right side, I'd rather know now, so that way I don't have to go all the way back down into here.
Yeah.
Which is a smart, decision, considering that if he fights on any of the chests before clearing the right side, he can immediately save time,
When
and it
fights
pays
the big
all.
key. Which is fortunate, because the next room would require the fire rod going off 4 times the least, so... And he doesn't have magic for that.
Yeah, he needs an upgrade. Think you'll find it?
I'm not sure.
So-
At this point, maybe not. Icarus is hitting that switch to get another chest, I guess, that he missed.
Yeah, I don't think he's... Did he check the big chest yet?
Yeah, he did. I didn't see what it contained, though.
Neither did I.
But
Check.
he is not leaving Misery Mire without having checked all the locations first, and I think that's pretty
Yeah.
smart. I can't blame him for that.
Yeah. Though it is one of those, areas that I think he's hoping, am I going to have to clear out, am I going to have to go to ice? Because ice you can complete without the bow.
And there is, I hope, the last item location, and it's... But
Probably is.
Seems he thinks he has still a chest left, and he might have. I'm not sure about that. But as you said, if he doesn't remember the overworld locations that he missed, he might be going to Ice Palace and Turtle Rock, and that would be a disaster for him at this point.
Well, he could only go to, well, yeah, he does have the cane. I forgot, he actually does have the cane, so yeah, Turtle Rock is an option. And now he
that
realizes
is
he's checked
unfortunate
everything.
for him. And Alanim has started the gauntlet.
Yep. Now megakidicarus is realizing that, where can I go? Where can I go? God,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. God, I just hope I don't see a dot done yet. I think that's what Alan is actually thinking. It's like, come on, come on. It's almost 2 hours, there's still no dot done. He's probably thinking megakidicarus is probably either hot on his heels or slightly ahead.
And speaking of Icarus, it seems he remembers about either the Ether tablet or maybe the spike cave that he hasn't checked yet, so...
You know that the spike
Hopefully.
cable. You know that spike cable offer him the ice rod.
Which will bring him maybe to Turtle Rock even more.
Yeah. Which I really hate to see runners actually, waste time on stuff like that. But as commentary here and as a viewer, the more dungeons, the better.
I think it's especially fun when both players are doing them.
Yeah, but looks like megakidicarus is going to get his ice cane.
Yeah, what
ice
it
rod.
really worries me at this point. Going for a spike cave is not a bad choice, but does he remember about Ether tablet? He might not.
Yeah, that's just... I just hope he doesn't save and quit back to the house. But no, it looks like he's thinking, I'm going to have to get back out of here. And I don't have the cape! And Alan is going to have to be careful on his magic. Because Because he is running really low. Oh,
But there is a full magic in this room in the right pot, and
and
we'll see if he knows about
yeah.
it.
And he does! I know, for me, trying to actually beat, Ganon without the magic upgrade is always going to be a problem. Oh, I'm taking an actual, fall off the torch room. And he finally picks up the, and megakidicarus finally picks up those bombs. Oh wait, looks like he decides not to.
Alanim is actually skipping both chests there, which could very well contain Bear Sword or Half Magic. So,
Which...
Oh, and taking a death, and that means he has to redo the... No, he has a fairy. Pew!
Yeah. And
It looked like
megakidicarus, I think, finally checking Ether. I'm sure he's going to kick himself, for not checking sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. I give him though that it is an easy location to miss, especially since he went to Tower of Hera without having the book first. So
yeah,
I do gotta say it seems Alanim is a bit stressed at this moment. Maybe, as you said, he's worrying about that dot down from Icarus at this point.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for him, with only regular magic.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 4 chests here, and it is actually, if you haven't encountered the Butter Sword or Half Magic at this point, it is very likely for him to be in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, and Mega finally getting his bow. And Alanim choosing not to check the Moldorm 2 chest. I can't blame him.
He took the bottle from Moldorm 2.
Oh.
But he did skip the 3 chests before that, which was very accessible, so...
That's true.
But I guess he did want to verify the run. Validate the run. That's good. He realizes as soon as he went there, what am I doing? I have to validate this run, of course.
Yeah. Which is true. But no, he still has a shot at actually getting a sub 2 hours. He has to have an amazing Ganon fight.
And we saw one fairy being used. I'm not sure what he has in the rest of the balls, but he's running low on both life, and that magic could become a problem.
Yeah, it can. And megakidicarus finally finishing up Eastern.
And making good use of that bow, not even trying to get the pots, just I have the bow now, I am going to use it.
Oh, and according to chat, he apparently does have red potion. Wait, no.
I think that's might be because of the tracker. He did have the red potion when you find it, but then he used
I don't know if he ever used it.
I know he used his blow potion in Skywoods.
Yeah, I remember that. And Alan taking, a real quick, Ganon fight, considering how...
Using that cape now is very costful.
Yeah.
Oh. And he has a red potion. Oh.
So he is now potionless. I hope he manages to get, sub 2 hours.
And Tempered Sword actually makes this fight a lot harder, especially since he doesn't have half magic and is running out of life. So,
and I hope he doesn't. Oh, he's got to remember he does not have half magic, or he's got to be really accurate.
Really tight. He does have to. He's going to try to get the torch glitch, but even with that glitch, it is going to be a bit low.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the lamp doesn't require too much magic, so he might rely on the lamp for the rest of the fight.
That is true. And taking the time to read Ganon's message about the silver arrows.
I'm not sure where Icarus is going. Has he
He
cleared
gets the
everything?
double.
Oh, that's nice. And Icarus is actually
So
clear for
Alanim-
Ganon's tower, so that's nice for him.
gets first with a SRL time of 2 hours and 18 seconds.
So close for that sub 2 hours.
Yeah. So close. But megakidicarus finally entering G Tower. So, Mystic, you want to try to get Alan in for a post-race interview?
Yeah, I asked him. He said he was going to the bathroom immediately after finishing the run, so
Hopefully he'll come back for that. But GG for him. I don't know how good of a runner he is, but just barely missing out on the 2 hour mark is an accomplishment in and of itself.
yeah, I think 2 hours is a good mark of a good run. The better players can almost consistently getting under 2 hours, and for some other players, especially new players, 2 hours can be actually quite hard to get. But the more you play it, the more you get to know the item locations, and the better chance you have to get under those 2 hours. But of course, the seed might depend. It can be a very trolley seed or a very generous seed, so it depends. But if you can keep an average time under 2 hours, that's very good.
Yeah, or even I would say the best average time should probably be between, say, under 1.5 hours if you're insanely good to, like, I'd say what, 2.5-ish, maybe? Oh, at least 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Blending fungus into bombs. I always love the actual, fun things they put in credits.
Yep, the official time was 2 hours and 18 seconds indeed. And a shout to Dasquacken in the Twitch chat for helping out with the item tracker and pointing out our mistakes. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I know I tried to catch as soon as I could, but it's still a little hard every now and then.
And it seems Alanim is ready.
In the chat, wondering whether or not he washed his hands.
Hello Alanim, congratulations to the game.
Thank you.
How do you feel now?
That was a pretty tough run.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
That
I was in
pain
go
turned
mode
out
for
to
at
be-
least an hour and 30 minutes of that run.
Hmm.
I really had to go to the bathroom.
I can understand that. You're doing better than.
Oh, I muted my mic. Whoops. My mic, my speakers.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I meant to mute the game.
It's okay.
Yeah.
At least your opponent is finally in G Tower and finally has his bow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he did every other dungeon without the bow. He forgot to check Ether. Because when he went to Hera, he did not have the book.
Oh man. I think I did. No, I did every dungeon without the mirror. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So the first question is, we actually saw you went to Saharsla and got the book quite early, and then you went to desert to check Agnes cave, but didn't check the desert ledge item. And Kid Icarus actually checked that item and saw it was the Titansmith, but hasn't got the book yet. So, did you just forget to check that desert ledge item?
I just
you were
forgot.
there?
Yep. I just forgot.
Because it might have been a completely different game had you seen it was the Titansmith, considering you were there and had the book and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel overall? Are you satisfied with the run in total, or how do you feel?
I'm pretty satisfied. I think I found a new strategy, which is just drink a lot of water, and you will you will complete it as fast as possible. If you do that.
That is true.
Aiming for that toilet run.
Yep.
That's great.
So, wait, so you were 18 seconds off of actually making at least a 2-hour.
Yeah, I was a little sad about that. But he
Yeah,
died exactly 2.
it happens. It's better than the whole, 9-second loss we've had?
Oh, for what?
There was a race earlier that both racers got to Ganon. One killed him, it was able to dot done walking into the chamber, while the other was getting the fanfare.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That
9
is sick.
seconds.
And that must be devastating to see that dot done when you have finished the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you feel like you were ahead, or did you think you were behind, or what was your
So we're
analysis?
speculating on that one.
From what I could tell, my opponent is pretty new to the game like me, so I thought we'd have about the same time, and I did really good compared to what I normally do. Normally I'm like a solid 220, and this is way better than those.
Is this a new PB for
yes.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
Congrats!
Thank you.
I think
And
we've
you
had
had some. Yeah, and it was. I mean, it wasn't the trolliest of seed, but that cane was definitely hard to get. So it was certainly not a very easy seed either. So
Yeah.
Mega making the same play you did with actually checking the tile room first.
I'm glad I checked it.
But accidentally using his mirror. Oh no, got grabbed by the clutches. But yeah, neither of you found half or quarter magic. Or the butter sword.
Yeah, I went back to the chest after the worm thing.
yeah,
Hoping it would be butter sword.
And
You
I
were
was
one-
actually surprised you skipped 3 chests in the room before Moldum, and those chests are right there in your face. So I was a bit surprised by that, since they
Yeah.
could contain half magic or battle sword. So it takes like 2 seconds to open them.
And by the way, your bonk count was 22. Sorry, chat,
I
I
was
forgot
gonna
to
guess
ask.
22. Dang it.
But you guys know the drill on that one.
Yeah.
But
And
your
Icarus picking up the big
anytime was
key.
still okay.
For how long I've been doing this, I think it's pretty okay.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
Still looking to improve it though, even though I'm out of the tournament.
Well, hey, you still had fun. Are you gonna try joining us on commentary at some point?
Probably not.
Why not?
I'm not very good at commentary, and well, I forget a lot of stuff about this game.
Hey, I'm not the best either, but just have fun. That's basically the best advice I've heard for that one.
That only was a solid run, and very close to those sub 2 hours, of course. I'm very sure you're gonna get it very soon. I think, haven't you, if you hadn't forgotten about the Desert Ledge item and saw the Titan Smith earlier, I think you definitely sub to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lost a bit of time because I forgot that the bat that gives you half magic in the base game, forgot he was in Light World, so I got lost like a minute. Going Dark World and then realizing.
Yeah, but those are pretty minor mistakes, I would say, and the most runners that aren't extremely good make such mistakes during a run. It's nothing unusual.
Yeah. Though I do have to agree that your strategy, for your rooting for the dungeons was good too. And Mega opting to bonk for the fairies and then choosing not to.
I mean, just like an hour before this run, I was watching watching one of these randomizer races, and the first time ever found out about Spiral Cave in Death Mountain. That was fun.
Hey, it's always useful.
Yeah.
I also have another question for you. After doing the swamp polish, you were actually very close to the super bomb, and that yields another 2 items in the Fat Fairy and the pyramid. Did you ever consider those item locations before going into Palace of Darkness and checking for decay in there?
I forgot about the super bomb room.
Yeah, it seems both of you did actually.
Yeah. And watch that have butter, sword, or half magic. We're also worried for you with your magic use on Ganon.
Just try to survive and hopefully have enough left to light the torch. Because I'm pretty bad at the fight, so I just use cape a lot.
Understandable.
Yeah,
But
the
you
cape
did a
is
good
really
job
nice.
of it.
Draining magic, basically.
I mean, you even got, an actual double on him.
Yeah, you gotta go for those doubles when you can.
Yeah. I still want to see someone somehow manage to get a triple or an actual, just a 1-round kill on him. I'm pretty sure there's some pixel in that room that will let you do all 4 hits on him.
That'd be amazing.
I think it would be amazing with that one. But your opponent is just now finishing up Land Mollusk, which I know as soon as he got the bow, he was just like, I'm going to Eastern, and I'm not unequipping the bow.
I was plowing through the enemies with this newfound bow, waiting for so long to get it, so... But thanks for a good run, and congratulations on personal best. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I didn't even realize that me missing those mitts made Agahnim, me doing Agahnim pointless. I hadn't even thought about that, but all around I think it was a pretty good run. I still have a lot to improve, but there's always
You did good. Yeah, but you did good. I mean, you both actually went to Agahnim.
Oh, alright.
So...
Yeah, you went to Agahnim about the same time. I think Icarus was slightly earlier on Agahnim than you did. But I was actually surprised to see Agahnim from your side, since you got in the book and have had some options still in the desert.
Well, I know the pyramid item can be a bottleneck. So,
yeah, in many games it can. So
I've seen sometimes where it's been as trolly as anything, too. So, and Mega taking too much time on this torch room. But overall, your thoughts on the race so far, not just the race but the tournament.
So far, I can only speak for really what I've raced, but so far my opponents have been pretty good at the game. Amazing Ampharos and EOD Pex, especially being the front runners of our group. I think both those can go really far.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players in the tournament, so it's going to be really fun to watch.
And do you think you've learned, a lot from racing in here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've learned more from just watching like 10 or 20 minutes of this tournament, honestly, at a time. I would I kept just learning new stuff whenever I would watch the runs, the other people playing.
I know I've tried to pepper in some, useful vanilla facts whenever I've commentated.
Yeah, watching games and playing games, it makes you learn really fast. So that's part of the fun with Randomizer. You're getting better as you play and watch, and that's really fun.
Oh, no butter.
Yeah, no butter. that one. We were all hoping. But then again, with the new logic that's coming out, swords are now going to be progressive.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be even sadder that you really can't get butter early. How'd you feel about getting the tempered sword so early?
I was extremely happy.
And not only tempered sword, also the blue mail and the mirror shield fairly early.
Extremely happy. Because I am known to die very... Well, I've been known to die a lot.
Well, hey, you actually got a deathless run.
Oh, did
If I recall your
I didn't...
stats correctly. So hey, not bad for your last race in the tournament.
Yep.
And your opponent is just now on Agahnim 2, so quick. And I saw chat at one point wondering for your routing whether or not you actually plan to wash your hands at one point.
If I meant to go into the hands at Lost Woods, you mean?
No. It was more the fact of just because you had said about needing to run to the bathroom immediately after your run. Chat was wondering on the routing whether or not you actually washed your hands coming back.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's bad when you look at a jug to the left of you and you think about it.
And megakidicarus is just now entering his Ganon fight. Though he does need magic. But still, congrats on the chat. You want to give him the actual 2-hour mark just by the excluding the 18 seconds?
What was that?
I was saying whether or not chat should actually just give him the straight 2-hour mark. Ignore the 18 seconds.
Yeah, of course. That is a solid 2 hours run at least, so...
Yeah. Because most people just ignore the actual seconds mark.
And Icarus is actually making good use of those extra 300 rupees he picked up on Zora, so...
Yep.
Just buying every bottle he can, so... well prepared for the Ganon fight.
I was really considering going back to get magic, but I was really trying to cut the two.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you did make it. And I was, rooting for you on that one. And chat, don't forget to, follow our runners, both Alanim and megakidicarus. megakidicarus just now working on Ganon.
And making use of that cape.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. As we said before, the tempered sword makes this fight much harder, requiring 12 hits instead of 6 hits for going to the next phase.
Yeah, though he is down to only a little bit of magic. Though I think he did pick up a blue potion before coming in, so he should be fine. He did.
And see if he can get that torch glitch. Picking up the fire rod, so not too sure about that.
I know.
I don't think he's going for it.
Well,
But getting 2 silver arrows at least, that's something. And that's just one
is-
more hit.
and he's done it.
Nice.
GG megakidicarus.
And an official time of 2:20:27.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Not bad considering he couldn't find the bow for the longest time.
Okay, I'm here for my interview.
Okay.
Hello.
How are
Hi.
you?
Good.
How are you?
What a rush!
How do you feel about that run?
Well, the worst part was probably the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were wondering about that one.
Yeah.
How long it would take you to go back for it.
Also, shoutouts to biology with saccharin. That's his name in this seed.
And we actually knew about the Eatle location for quite some while. Alanim actually got a book while you were doing when you were doing Tower of Hera. He already had the book and got the bow quite early.
Yeah.
So we knew about the bow getting
I'm-
from the Eater tablet. So
I'm guessing what held him up was the was it Samaria rod?
Chain of Samaria, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Being in Path of Darkness was quite tricky since it was a pendant dungeon, and that was one of the most problematic things to find in this seed, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about 2:20:27 became your official time? Are you satisfied with that, or how do you feel about it?
Let me just boot up the stream, and I want the people in the chat to give me some hype.
Hey!
That is a PB. It is a PB.
Nice, congratulations!
Nice.
We have 2 PBs during this match. That's really good.
Congrats to both of our runners.
Like, I remember when this tournament still
Yes.
started. He posted his first sub 3, and that's before I had even. I don't think I even got running, so I was pretty happy for him.
Happy for both of you.
Yeah.
You've both improved by leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Especially considering that some of my first ones were like 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hour mark.
But it is tough to get started with randomized. Let's not forget about that. It's very tricky in the beginning. So
Yeah.
watching more runs and doing more runs certainly helps you cut down the time more and more.
Yeah. And also, I can't believe I pulled a Metroid MST / Shy Guy Express in the Swamp Palace.
Oh yeah.
Shoutouts to Metcons, by the way. Yeah. And I can't believe I did that.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, mistakes happens all the time. So nothing to feel too bad about. You just learn about the mistakes that you make, and hopefully you never make them again.
Yeah. Everybody's made a mistake at least once in this tournament, and they've remembered to, learn from it. Whether it be from missing the hammer in, the actual big key chest in Thieves Town to,
And there's also been several highlights. I think it was El Minister whose strategy I adopted for that iBoss.
Yeah, which race was that of his?
You mean the bombs, or
With the bombs and the sword. Because before I started getting into the tournament, I completely didn't know about that boss. Just taking low damage with the sword.
yeah, that is true. It requires quite some hits with, especially the tempered sword. So
Yeah, but at least on a nice thing, you'll know for next time. If you got the bow, 2 shots with the silver arrow.
Yeah. It was one of those spots where I was like, I don't want to. It was one of those spots where when I was checking Death Mountain and I went away from Death Mountain, I was like, crap, I forgot that one location. It's probably just an arrow upgrade or something.
Yeah. But the nice thing is that you'll probably remember to always check Ether from now on.
Yeah. I forget, where was it that the book was?
The book was in Sahasla's hut, and Alani actually went there quite early while you were heading to Agahnim. And both of you ended up doing Agahnim, which was not technically required.
Well, and it was the flippers that was next to him, or what? I forget what
The flipper was in the Death Mountain's Dark World cave.
Yeah. So many items to keep track of. Just different randomizers are always different, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the flute that was next to it. I knew it was some blue item.
Yeah, that's sort of why I just try to actually remember it in my head. And after a while, even I've gone a bit crazy.
Yeah. Especially when people are taunting you with some good food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that does hurt.
Yeah. Oh, also PB on the low amount of chests.
And Chad, what do you think his bonk count's going to be?
36.
You're going to go that high? I always go for the traditional 2.
I'm gonna go about 32. It's a nice round number.
45.
Okay, 42. 69 was the first one. 32's, in the chat. 22, 34, 420. Well, still a very good run between the pair of you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also had like one of those moments where I accidentally paused my timer mid-run.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Better than restarting the timer or closing it. 34 bonks.
Oh.
Still nice.
21 times fluted. For those who are interested in that, 5 saving quits and a death.
I don't know if you're one of those people that just, gets upset depending on the actual item menu time or not.
Not really. I need to learn the menu. I need to get better at the menus. I find.
I mean, with the
randomizer, you can never predict the menus.
I mean, the way I've learned it is, habit from when I was a kid. I'd always put, my item on useful item that I would use constantly. Like for me, it would usually be like the red boomerang. So I just tend to remember, okay, so I'm on this item. How do I get to the items from here?
Okay, I'm just gonna inform that we have an upcoming game that starts 6 p.m. EDT, which is in 24 minutes, and it's going to be between Andres and Cancion. So you can stay tuned on this channel for that game in 25 minutes, or you can head over to Speed Gaming 2 and check the ongoing match between Igidota and Radioactive Rat. And congratulations again to both of the players for hitting PB, and thank you very much for the game.
And chat, don't forget to follow our runners, and our great commentary staff, especially the runners.
Yeah.
Good race, Mega.
Yeah.
I hope you both will actually, hop into commentary sometime.
Yeah.
For the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, school's just been busy for me.
I think a lot of people have had that.
And I've been busy fixing computers for the past week and a half, so...
.tv/... Oh my gosh, I'm typoing so much. Because I use the shift key on as my timer start. Yeah. Oh, I should probably go into animations. Just because I'm
It's hard to actually pick a good key for that. I know I've tended to bad. I've thought about even just setting up L or R if I'm playing Zelda because they're not used.
I mean, I play on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Numpad.
I've done that before on a lot of games. it's a lot harder playing, RPGs with that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, there's my YouTube in case anyone wants to follow me. I'm completely restarting from scratch.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Have the hype for the next race.
Mhm.
I'm out.
Thank you very much to
Good
both
game.
of our runners.
Good game.
Yes,
See y'all later. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
not a problem.
Thanks for such an awesome tournament.
Mhm.
Like I can't wait to watch all the VODs on all the VODs on YouTube.
I mean, I know they've had one that actually they had a second sword seed last night.
Ooh, nice.
Ice Rod.
Nice. Yeah.
And the most annoying thing was, I commentated the 2 races before it, and that stopped just before a sword seed.
Yeah, anyway. One more race with Kevrob. That's my last race in this tournament.
We'll have fun. Are you going to remember to check Ether?
Yes.
That's
Okay,
the
you-
good thing about mistakes. If you
Yeah.
do such a mistake, you never do it again, and you learn stuff from it, and it's great.
Yeah.
You improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a really silly mistake like that. Especially considering that I think I forgot it like twice, but then I was like, wait, I almost forgot it twice, and almost went into like Ice Palace.
That is true.
Yeah, so I had
We're
that
glad you
death on the
didn't.
mountain. So I had that death on the mountain.
So thanks for your game once again, and just another reminder that we have an upcoming game here on this channel for Andres versus Cansion in 20 minutes, and there is an ongoing match on Speed Gaming 2 between Igidota and Radioactive Rat.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good one now.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we'll pass the torch over to the next commentators if they're ready.
I think they're not quite ready yet, but we'll be taking a break and we'll be back in 20 minutes for the next game. Thank you very much.
Have a good rest of the day and enjoy the tournaments. Oh, enjoy the races.